Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's SIIA Tech Chats. I am joined today by Steve Bernstein, principal of Waypoint Group. And Waypoint is a customer experience management consultancy using B2B account-based analytics. So, Steve, it's great to have you back with us again.
Terrific to be here.
Well, I want to jump right in because you started as a consultancy firm, which is, the core of your business, but you also have a SaaS product. So how has SaaS improved your consulting practice, and also how has your consulting experience impacted that SaaS product strategy?
Really good question. I think the problem that many consulting firms face is how do you make sure that your consulting advice, the guidance you provide, all of the how-to knowledge doesn't just kind of get put into a binder and go up on a shelf somewhere, right? We want to make sure that everything we do is really driving ROI, fully actioned and operationalized. And especially since we are in the customer success and customer experience business, we have to practice what we preach, and like to practice what we preach because it drives the new opportunities and benefits for us as well. And so in terms of listening to our customers and really hearing what challenges they had with regards to working with us, we clearly found that there was a gap in being able to operationalize the kind of recommendations that we were designing, implementing, and really making it sticky. So the SaaS product really has helped us do that, not just for Waypoint Group, but for our clients as well, to be able to operationalize the recommendations, to be able to have an ongoing system and set of tools that enable our clients to be self-sufficient so they don't have to keep us around on the payroll, right, forever. Our objective is to make sure that they can get what they need quickly, and then be much more self-sufficient through technology where appropriate. So that's been a good benefit for both us and our clients.
Well, it's good you took that feedback then from your customers. And you and I have spoken in the past a number of times about the importance of getting your customers' feedback. Yet there's still so many companies that only get a small percentage of feedback from their customers. So why is it important that we invest in getting 100% feedback from our customers?
Well, I don't know if 100% is attainable, right? But as a goal, it's a useful goal, at least to be able to analyze feedback by different revenue segments, right? So every company has some sort of, top strategic accounts that they really want to focus on. Really important to make sure that you're hearing from all of the members of the buying committee within those strategic accounts to make sure that you're aligned to their priorities and objectives, issues, and concerns. The rest of this, right, I guess the rest of the equation is that we've found, and this is on our blog with all the research posted behind it, but we've found clearly over and over again that silent accounts are the most at risk for churn. Makes sense, right? They're not giving you feedback probably for a reason, right? Either they're disengaged or they don't care enough to really want to invest 2 to 3 minutes to give you feedback. So we find that using a feedback process, not a survey process, there's some subtle but really important differences, right? It's not really a survey. It's a request for feedback that should be able to be actioned, and a commitment to action and improvement. And if your customers still won't respond to that kind of what's in it for me, right, to be able to give you feedback, then it tells you something. So even if you can't get 100% feedback from those customers, at least don't treat silent accounts or non-responders as garbage data. It's actually really important data, understanding who's with you and who's not with you, right? Use that non-responder data to reach out and use a feedback process to increase that relationship strength.
So what advice would you then give companies that are trying to justify the ROI for automating the ability to measure and act on that customer feedback?
Yeah, I guess the strongest advice I could give, especially around the ROI, is don't boil the ocean. There's a lot that can be had with regards to quick wins with individual accounts. So you don't have to think about this as a grand initiative to get feedback across every contact within every account and in one swell swoop. The idea of maybe targeting, be a little more surgical. You can pilot a process that's working with maybe one or two very important strategic accounts, get the feedback from them, work with the account team to make sure that it's being acted upon appropriately. There's an awful lot that an account team can do at the front line with regards to feedback without having to get the whole rest of the company really lined up. So hearing that voice of the customer, demonstrating to the customer that you really do care, that you really want to hear and take action on what they're telling you, manage expectations. You can't commit to doing everything, but you can manage what it can be, what they should expect at various points in time. And from that engagement, you should be able to see stronger relationships, greater retention, and even upsell and cross-sell opportunities, expansion opportunities that come out of those kinds of actions. And so that's where you'll probably find ROI the quickest. That can be had within 30 to 60 days, right, on individual account level. Then you can start looking for the aggregates across accounts, look for those patterns that can drive an optimization strategy, right, a process for creating more promoters from the get-go, making sure you're not creating detractors from the get-go, right? Those kinds of things would be good to do, but they definitely take longer to be able to implement. Have some results from individual accounts first.
Great. Before I let you go, Steve, you wrote a book on B2B customer success called Failure Sucks. What can you tell us about the book, and what do you hope people will take away from reading it?
Right. So the title "Failure Sucks" has a subtitle, which is "Failure Sucks More for Your Customers Than for You," which means, look, your customers are placing big bets on your products and your company's products and services, and in many cases they're betting careers on it, right? If you can't deliver against the expectations and requirements that they have, then that's really gonna suck, pardon my language, for them. Gonna be unpleasant for you because you might churn an account, right? But not nearly as impactful as it might be for your customer. So the idea is to really is twofold with the book, right? First, empathize and make sure that you're understanding what kind of skin in the game your customers have, and that you got to make it work for them because they are placing a big bet on you. The second thing I really want to underscore, and this is emphasized throughout every part of the book, is by definition, feedback and acting on feedback means change, right? It means you got to do something different. You're doing one thing, customers give you feedback, and they're telling you what's working and not working, and by definition, it means change. Change is hard. Right? We all talk about change management initiatives and the like, right? So if you're thinking about customer feedback, you can't just think about it as a data collection or a customer sentiment activity. You got to think about it as a do something different kind of activity, and be ready for the kinds of changes that you might need to make, right? Getting the rest of the company engaged across products, services, support, account teams, frontline, et cetera. Everybody can play a role in this. So that's why, even more to the point of getting a small pilot program first, right? That maybe is working with just a handful of accounts. Find out really what customers are telling you, and then use that voice of the customer, right? And we like to use the phrase amplify the customer voice to be able to get the rest of the company really engaged in what customers are thinking, feeling, perceiving, and their overall sentiment.
That's fantastic. Steve, thank you so much for your insights today. For more information on Waypoint Group, you can visit their website and tune in next week for SIIA Tech Chats.